Morning peeps, good morning everyone, how are we all doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. Don't forget as well to like and share the vids. Alright, let's just jump straight into the stories. Let's start with this one. Liam Smith, Eubank trying to box the way Roy's got in boxing. I can capitalise on that. Really looking forward to this fight. I'm still not convinced with this Roy Eubank setup. Obviously Eubank wasn't going to use Roy for the Conor Ben fight. For some reason, I know he spoke at the press conference about it just being a Eubank versus Ben fight as opposed to bringing Roy into it, which I just thought was a strange answer. I don't know. I'm not quite sure about Roy as a trainer yet. Obviously, look, we know Roy is one of the greatest fighters of all time. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going to translate to be a great trainer. There is an argument that says Roy is trying to change Eubank into Roy, which obviously isn't going to work. I know that Eubank's naturally a great athlete, but he doesn't have the same boxing ability that Roy had, obviously. Look, even if Eubank does try and box like Roy, Eubank, when he gets hit, will just revert to type. I think we've seen that. And I think this fight's going to go crazy after 3 or 4 rounds. I think the first couple of rounds, feel-out rounds, where everyone's just trying to gauge distance and timing. As soon as anyone hits someone, whether it could be Liam smacking Eubank or Eubank landing something clean on Liam, I think they're just going to go and have it. And I think we're in for something a bit special. Honestly, I think this is going to be a really, really good fight. We are going to do a live watch along for it as well. So again, as I said, I think a couple of days ago, we are going to do way more live watch alongs, and that's definitely one that we're going to do. But yeah, should be a good fight. Tyson Fury, I'd bet 1 million with anybody that Wilder knocks Joshua out cold. Could happen. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to take that bet because, I mean, if Wilder lands clean, I mean, I think we know that he can put Joshua to sleep. Equally, though, if Joshua lands clean, I think we know that he can definitely put Wilder down. I don't know about putting Wilder to sleep, but he can definitely put Wilder down. It looks a straight shootout. Let's just hope it happens. I mean, all this talk and Fury, you know, wanting to bet people, let's just hope that this fight happens. That there is no, I don't think, no massive hurdle in this fight not happening in 2023. Some might say the hurdle is Andy Ruiz because he's looked like he's fighting Wilder, and it could be Dillian Whyte as the other hurdle on this side. But in terms of negotiating, I don't think there's any hurdle. There seems to be a relationship of sorts now with Eddie Hearn and Shelley Finkel, and you couldn't have said that a couple of years ago. I remember Eddie was calling him Shirley Winkle and things like that, which didn't go down well on that side of the pond. And some might say that was actually disrespectful. But now there is a relationship. They all know, all parties know that this fight makes everyone very, very rich, right? I think this fight makes hundreds of millions. I really do. You guys know what I'm going to say about it. Chaos in Lagos. But yeah, look, it's such a big fight, and I have no idea how it plays out. I'm guessing most people would predict Wilder to win. But I said this, and look, Helenius didn't really, obviously, well, Helenius did nothing, offered nothing. But I've said the punishment that Wilder has taken through those 3, mainly the last 2 Fury fights, you just never know. Honestly, you never know. And AJ hopefully has taken a lot more confidence out of the Usyk fights. Obviously, look, he lost both, but I think the way in which he boxed in the second fight, he should be very confident going into the ring with anyone that isn't Alexander Usyk. So look, let's hope it happens. Sean Porter rips Munguia's resume. This is a built-up record. Yeah, it's not great, is it? I don't know what Munguia is. I think it's something like 40. What is Munguia's record? I'm guessing it's something like 40-0 or 39-0. But then it's very, very thin. We just mentioned Liam Smith. Liam Smith's probably the only real, and Rosado, I guess, but obviously Rosado that's lost 13 or 14 times. Yeah, 41-0. But no one takes that seriously. I'm actually with Sean Porter on this one. Munguia needs to fight someone now. Didn't the WBO or WBA order him to fight Alam Kanali, and that's kind of not happening. I think he wants the Gennady Golovkin fight. He just needs to fight someone, because it does get to a stage where you hear a Munguia announcement and you just expect it to be nobody. Derek Chisora not looking to retire, plans to continue career. I've just done a video on this. Go and check it out. Obviously, it's me saying that Chisora should retire, but me giving my points and not trying to be too disrespectful to the great man. But go and check out that video if you've not seen it. I've literally just put it up. A fight that was announced a few weeks ago and the fighters got in the ring on the weekend was Anthony Yarde Beterbiev. I was actually doing I'm pointing because my TV's there. I was doing the live watch long, and I was seeing that Yarde was literally here and Beterbiev was there. And I didn't even realise they were that close to each other. And then obviously they got in the ring and done their face-off, and bloody hell, goosebumps. Honestly, goosebumps. I mean, that's serious business, isn't it? That's serious business. That's a fight I really can't wait for. Again, we're going to be doing a live watch along for that one. You know what it is, yeah? I remember when this fight was initially announced, I was very much like, what are they doing? That was my reaction. Like, come on, man, just do YEAR.THEY. Like, what's he doing? He has no chance. And look, I still, and I'm talking about Thingy here, by the way, Yarde. And I still obviously favour Beterbiev. You're going to, right? I mean, you look at the amateur record, unbeaten as a pro. He is the best light heavyweight. I love Dimitri Bivol, but Beterbiev's got 3 belts. So he is the number 1 in the division. As it gets closer, like when the fight was announced, it was honestly, I'm not joking, 95-5. So I gave Yarde a 5% chance. As it gets closer, that percentage grows. Like now I give Yarde a 30% chance. So look, still heavily favoured with Beterbiev, and rightly so. But I give Yarde a chance in this fight, you know. I really do. I think that experience of going to Russia, and yes, he lost, but the experience of being such a massive underdog and going to Kovalev's backyard and putting on a good performance. And I know some of you are like, well, he only had a good couple of rounds. I say this and I say it again. He was 1 punch away. He had Kovalev out of there. It was 1 punch away from getting the job done. And he's inexperienced, and I think even Tunde can admit it. The inexperience of Tunde in the corner maybe cost him. He's got that experience now. He's got that experience. He suffered a couple of defeats, obviously Lyndon Arthur won, and he done well to come back and put on a clinic and really kind of just bust up and destroy Lyndon Arthur. This is a massive step up. Don't get me wrong. This isn't Lyndon Arthur. This isn't British level. You're going to the top of the tree here. But the fight's going to be in his backyard. Beterbiev, we know, is coming off an injury. That's why the fight was delayed initially. I think the fight was scheduled for October. Beterbiev's 38 years old. Look, I'm just trying to think of positives as to why Yarde can do it. Ultimately, I think Beterbiev is going to beat him. And I would love and want to see Beterbiev versus Bivol. But I do think Yarde's going to have his spots. Beterbiev in fights, even the fights where he's destroyed people and broken them down, he's been hurt. He's been hurt. He's been bloodied. He's been caught. Yarde's a big light heavyweight. We know Yarde can hit. Does Yarde have the boxing IQ, the stamina, the punch power, the defensive ability to get through this one? Not sure, but I give him a chance. It's an exciting fight, and a lot of people are going to tune in for it. And well done to everyone. So Top Rank, Frank Warren, Queensbury for getting this over here. Because in America or Canada, it would do decent numbers. But over here, I don't know. I'm guessing it's O2 Arena. It sells out the O2 Arena. I think 20,000 will be in there. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. I really am. One of the fights I'm looking forward to in 2023. Again, we've got that really good start over here for 2023. I'm waiting for Eddie, and hopefully he releases it this week as we build up to Warrington. He releases the schedule for DAZN from January to April. Let's see what the schedule's like, because Sky have started well with Liam Smith Eubank Jr. BT Sports have started well with Yarde Beterbiev. DAZN and Matchroom need to start well as well. All right, Juan Francisco Estrada got the victory over Chocolatito. I scored it 116-112. A lot of you had it 115-113. Some of you had it Chocolatito. I don't see how you give it to Chocolatito. Look, I'm a huge Chocolatito fan, and I thought he was going to win it, but he started too slow. I think Estrada picked up the majority of the first half of the fight. Sorry, first 6 rounds. I think could have given them all, if I'm honest with you. And then Chocolatito started to come back into it, but I think it was a bit too late. So Estrada moves on. For Chocolatito, 35. I mean, look, you could do this fight again, by the way. But I think for Chocolatito, you either call it a day, or maybe you look at the Rungvisai rematch. I mean, Rungvisai's beaten him twice, stopped him in the last fight as well. So maybe you go for that. Maybe you look at that. For Estrada, obviously, you're looking at unification fights. It's a shame. I do think there would have been some discussion if Chocolatito won about him versus Bam, but now Bam will go back down to flyweight and look for the fights against Sonny Edwards, Martinez, and maybe I don't know, maybe even stay in and around the weight and fighting Nakatani. So look, it's a shame that Chocolatito lost, but well done to Estrada. I think he needed that win. I think he needed that win more than Chocolatito did. Fury here saying, I hit Chisora with shots that would knock anybody else spark out. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I mean, he landed some good uppercuts and some straight rights, but there certainly wasn't a punch there that I thought would have knocked out any other heavyweight. I didn't see it anyway. Regis Prograis, who's been paid. I think it was Prograis' fault actually. It wasn't the promotion's fault or the backers. It was Prograis' fault because I think the check that went into the bank and the bank weren't sure about it and something happened. But I think it was the bank's fault as opposed to the promoters and the backers. But Regis Prograis here says he's anxious to get his hands on Teofimo Lopez. I'll F Teo up like bad. I think Teo tweeted something about Regis's performance. And I think Regis responded in very, very strong words. And look, you'd have to make Prograis a favourite. Teo's a bit of a strange one, Like, honestly, I think like someone just needs to sit him down and have a conversation with him. I feel like he makes up quite a lot of excuses, says a lot of things about fighters, still talks about the Cambosos lost, and someone just needs to sit him down and just tell him some home truths. I really do. But look, it's a good fight, right? I mean, these are the fights that we want to see at 140. It'd be a good fight, but I'd favour Prograis right now. Anything else that we have here before we wrap up? So look, 2 seconds. Lennox Lewis, cautions that Usyk is no walkover fight for Tyson Fury. No way! You don't even need to caution. There is no way on this earth that Usyk is a walkover for anybody. I don't care. I know a lot of people have been saying Fury's size, and mate, that Usyk's a genius in the ring. So there's no way that it's a walkover. And he can hit. He's not got like obviously sort of Wilder power, but he's got respectable power. Honestly, he tagged Joshua a couple of times and it made Joshua not want to go into the fire with him. Like, he can hit. He's a good boxer. He's got movement. He's not going to be psyched out by Fury. Like, Fury likes to psych out his people in the pressers. If anything, Usyk could psych out Fury. So, yeah, look, I can't wait for it. Let's hope it gets done. I think Fury's got to have surgery, right? On his hand. I don't know if it's a case of surgery or just a rest or healing. But let's hope that fight can be announced for sometime in April. Okay, it's here actually. Tyson Fury needs right elbow surgery, 6 to 8 weeks to recover. Yeah, okay, that's fine. 6 to 8 weeks would put him in that February bracket. Then you start camp March. Yeah, that fight can happen in April, May. I don't see why it can't still happen. Fingers crossed it does. All right, anyway, girls, guys, it's, I got to go. I've got to go to work, talk sport. Peace and love.